All right, let's try it that way. Hey, look, that works a lot better. As I was trying to say. What the? Oh, I figured it out. Hold on. Okay, fixed it. Sorry about that. Anywho, on the plane. Oh yeah, that's cool, man. Enjoy while you're flying. I'm glad I can entertain you while you're on the plane. Anyway, as I was saying, or trying to say, when I realized there was a nasty echo, and thank God I could figure out how to fix it. Yay, me. Anyway, yeah. So change the beats up. A, I've been playing the same shit for damn ever, and B, I was feeling nostalgic for this old school Josh shit. So that's what I'm playing for a while now. I'll change it up again eventually. But yeah, many things to discuss tonight, chat, from all three of our IP. Got a little bit of Star Wars, got some DC, and of course, brand new updates from Alex Perez about Avengers Doomsday. So fill your cup and light your smoke. This is Wednesday night in the basement, and it's time to get nerdy. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the basement. Yes, you're seeing weird ass shadows. Here's why. Here's what's going on. Update. Well, the light source I was using, the switch completely died on me. So I am improvising with my phone flashlight balanced right over there, right there, which is why you have these weird ass shadows that are being cast by my monitors. So that's why it's like bright, weird ass line, the sentry, the void. Void like shadows are being cast by my monitors because I had to very quickly figure out how to get a light source going. So, yes, weird ass shadows, points of light in my glasses. That's how we got to roll with it tonight and possibly Saturday. We'll see. Anyway, how are you guys, chat? Some of you were here last night for the Alien Earth Watch Party. And if you have not watched that show, by the way, chat, anyone, or who's listening or watching on the replay or what have you, if you have not watched that show, watch that motherfucking show. That show is really good. Minor flaw, because I'm not just going to straight glaze this motherfucking show, even though I really want to. One minor flaw, pacing in the first episode is a little bit draggy in a couple spots. But other than that, this show is magnificent. It literally feels like the first Alien movie in terms of story, in terms of world building. Even though we already basically know what that world is, it's still adding more. It's giving more context to how things are in the Earth of whatever fucking year this shit takes place. Um, of the Alien universe as it began in 1979, I think is when the first one came out. Anyway, so yeah, there's more world building. It totally maintains the tension that was a hallmark of the original Alien movie. Um, but to add into that little icing on that cake is we get all the violence of every Alien movie since. So it is a beautiful mix. If you're any kind of fan of the Alien franchise, like super hardcore fucking fan, or just a casual like, hey, those movies are cool, watch this show. Like all levels of love for the Alien franchise will be very pleased with this show. You heard it here in the basement. Who all we got in chat tonight? Spicy Dan, Brooke, Derpy Entertainment. What's up? Executive Judge up in this bitch. How we doing, fellas? And other viewers. Right now, I'm pretty sure it's all fellas active in the chat. Don't know about lurkers, don't know about replay people. But right now, I'm directly addressing the live chat. So what's up, y'all? What's up, boys? How are we all doing on this fine evening of hump day? Prez, what's happening? What is happening? I would go Delta Executive Judge. I have flown Delta a few times, and yeah, I would recommend Delta. Same old shit, just a different day, yo. Same old shit, just a different day, yo. Yep, SSDD, baby. SSDD. Had to pay for the Wi-Fi's. Mm. $8 ain't too bad though. Better than 30. 100% better than 30. Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, Brooks on a plane. SSDD, so far as Prez is concerned. All right. Now let me see. Where to begin? You know what? I'm gonna do my best, chat. Griff, what's happening? Okay. So I'm sure you've all heard by now, or at least seen here and there. There was a big old merger between Skydance and Paramount. And since then, the new CEO of Paramount, Steve Ellison, has been going ham. Like, for example, they signed a contract with the UFC. All the UFC shit now going to be on Paramount Plus, including the numbered events, not on pay-per-view. I mean, the next one or two might still be on pay-per-view, but pretty much after that, you want to watch a numbered UFC event, all you need is Paramount Plus. And they're also getting after it with their new with their IP as well. Outside of a couple other projects, some legacy projects like Goonies and shit. So far as the nerdy goes, any Star Trek fans up in this bitch this evening? Star Trek fans? Fans of Roddenberry? Any Trekkies? Even casual level Trekkies up in here? And of those who are any level of Trekkie, how do y'all feel about the Kelvin timeline movies? And what I mean about the Kelvin timeline movies are the more recent ones with the Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto and Zoe Saldana, Simon Pegg. How do y'all feel about the Kelvin timeline Star Trek? Like, personally, I like the first two. Third one's kind of, but I liked the first two. What do y'all think about those Star Trek movies? Well, chat, I'm bringing that up. I'm bringing up Paramount and I'm bringing up Star Trek because two Star Trek films are in development at Paramount. One with Captain Kirk and the rest of the crew returning. Now that would be Star Trek 4, whatever words they want to add afterwards. But yeah, essentially that is the Kelvin timeline, Star Trek number 4, and now that's been talked about for years, and then it first it was talked about, then it went away, then it was talked about again, then it went away. And now it looks like Paramount wants to ramp production, wants to get going on that Star Trek 4. That's one. The other movie is one featuring new characters. Interesting. With Andor director Toby Haynes attached. I mean, that's cool. Andor, on the technical level, really well put together show. So I'm thinking this Toby Haynes knows how to do a good job. Now, I don't know if he has any cinematic experience, but his boss Tony Gilroy did, so that could be a good thing. New characters. I mean, that's cool. It's not like they haven't gone with new characters before. I mean, there's new characters on some in Strange New Worlds. It's the Discovery. All new characters, pretty much. As far as I'm aware, I never watched the fucking show. I haven't watched the. Matter of fact, now that I'm thinking about it, the only new Trek I've watched is Picard. That's it. So yeah, we have new characters. Now, my next question is where in the timeline will this other movie be? Will it be like ago? Like, are we talking pre 1960 show? Are we talking like way in the future, like Discovery? Are we talking about like events that will run concurrent to either the original crew or maybe the next generation crew timeline? Part of the timeline? It's interesting. But it's going to be new characters regardless of when it is set. And Abrams is producing both projects. I mean, I don't mind if he produces, just stay the fuck away from the director's chair. That's all I ask. So if there are any Trekkies in the chat, what do y'all think about that shiz? I am actually looking forward to the Star Trek number 4 with Chris Pine. I hope it's better than the third one. But that one I'm looking forward to. I cannot say yet about the second movie. Like, I can't say I'm looking forward to it or I'm excited by it. I am, however, curious. I am intrigued. I have not passed the point where you have my attention yet, but you do have my curiosity. To paraphrase a quote. Slightly alter. But what do y'all think about that? Getting more Trek. We talked about the Robin Batman thing, right? Batman 2. Yeah. Pretty sure. Yeah. Okay. Where is my DC? I wish Twitter let you organize. Oh, here's another little random bit of nerdy news outside the normal subjects we talk about. Anybody in here fans of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Got a little bit of Turtles news. Spicy Dan, I saw Ron Perlman today. They are filming Horrified in my town. Dude, that's sick. Mrs. Chillin loves Ron Perlman. Yeah, Mrs. Chillin's a big Ron Perlman fan. She likes the Hellboy. And that was actually a bit of nerdiness that she liked before we even met, which is pretty cool. So the seeds were there. I've just been trying to water them over the years. You know what I mean? Well, Spicy Dan knows. Cultivation, water, sun. Yeah. That's pretty sick, though, Spicy Dan. I also dig me some. Honestly, one of my favorite roles is when he was in a shit. Sons of Anarchy. Don't get me wrong. Awesome as Hellboy. Loved him in Blade 2. But his run on Sons of Anarchy, peak. Fucking peak. That show's fucking peak. I love that show. I didn't watch the spin-off about the Latin biker gang. Or the Aztecs? What were they called? Was it Aztec? I forget. I should go back and watch that shit. I loved it. I love Sons of Anarchy. You know, if that show's even like 3/4 as good as Sons of Anarchy, I would dig it. Mayans, not Aztecs. Mayans. Boom. Yeah. Anywho, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fans. Anybody at all? Because this is some pretty dope news, in my opinion. Oh, this is one of the other ones of Paramount. That's right. Guess what else Paramount is working on that's nerdy, folks? Live action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles The Last Ronin film is still in development at Paramount. The film follows the lone surviving turtle after his brothers and Master Splinter are killed off one by one. It will be rated R. Has anyone read the book? Anyone read that book? I've read that book. That book is dope. That book is seriously dope. And the movie should be pretty fucking dope as well. And I gotta say, for me, what the fuck? Oh. But for me, the turtle that it turned out to be was both very predictable and completely not. Excuse me, you know what I mean? Like if you were like just reading, you'd have been like, "Damn, really?" Huh. If you'd have stopped to think about it like during the reading of the book, you probably could have figured it out. Like when I saw it, when I got the reveal, I was like, "Damn," but also shit, I could have figured that out. But I didn't take the time to think. I was just reading it, going, "Damn, this is a good fucking comic book." Yeah. So, but yeah, last Ronin movie, there's still being worked on. And I hope we get it sooner rather than later. Because as I said, that book is sick. And if they do the book any kind of honor, that movie is gonna be fucking dope as well. Oh wow. So I think it's dope. If you're a Turtles fan, I hope you think it's dope as well. All right. So yeah, Paramount's fucking getting it over there, bro. Paramount is fucking getting after it over there. Now, I did not bookmark the other thing I saw. I mentioned like I think Goonies is a legacy product there. There's already been talk of rebooting that. I really wish they'd leave my fucking childhood alone. Like I really, really wish they would. But, it is what it is. All right. All right. Did we already talk about that? Chat. Did we already talk about the Obi-Wan Kenobi of it all when it comes to Ahsoka season 2? Did we already talk about that? I feel like we might have talked about that on Saturday, but I do not remember. Did we? I feel like we might have. But I do not recall 100%. Yeah. All right. Well, just to recap real quick. Was it Nexus Point News last week came out either late last week, early this week. I can't remember. Nexus Point News came out, and they were saying that at a convention of some sort, that Ewan McGregor said he was going to be in Ahsoka season 2. According to them, he confirmed it, right? So couple 3 hours go by, and then I think it was Collider came out and was like, that was a misquote, a misunderstanding of the quote. Here's the actual quote, blah, blah, blah. Basically, what it boils down to is that it was a misunderstanding of what he said, and he was referring to his wife, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, her beginning filming on Ahsoka Season 2. Now, what up, Brennan? If you'll recall, Mary Elizabeth Winstead played Hera Syndulla of the Cakes. So evidently he was talking about her and not him. At least that's what people are saying based on the actual quote, which I can't find. So now here's the thing. It's already been rumored for quite some time that he is going to be in it, and not only him, but the young lady that played young Ahsoka in season 1 is going to be back. So I mean, it could be the case that specifically at that con he was talking about his wife. Very could be true. Or he could have been talking about them both, which is making it sound like he was just talking about his wife. You'd never know. Now, assuming he is that he was not full of shiat and that he is not in Ahsoka Season 2. He was also quoted recently as being very down for like literally a Clone Wars, live action Clone Wars like special or series or something along those lines. In which case, yeah, grab Hayden, grab the young lady, whose name I can't recall off the top of my head. Yeah, grab them up, get that shit done, bruh. I would totally be here for a live action Clone Wars show. Bring it on. Now, obviously, that's just, you and being like, hell yeah, I'd do it, and like me with the Star Wars fanboy I have left in my system going, fuck yeah, bring it. But yeah, so, and just in terms of Disney as a whole, where did it go? Oh, yeah. Now, while it is not the regular D23 convention this year, Disney, on the off years of the regular D23 convention, Disney holds what they call Destination D23. Now, this year, I can't remember where it's at. It does not say. Nuts. Anyway, but it is going to be August 30th, evidently just the one day. And even though it's not the full D23 as like what we're used to, where they come out, like all the big IP comes out and they're like, hey, Marvel comes out, Lucasfilm comes out, Pixar comes out, all that shit. Much bigger thing. Much closer. The regular D23 is much closer to Hall H when it comes down to it. But even at Destination D23 this year, they will be providing a glimpse into what to look forward to from Disney's film studios, and not just Disney Film Studios as in just Disney, Disney's film studios, all the studios they own. Which again, Lucasfilm, Marvel, Searchlight, Pixar, Fox, or 20th Century Entertainment as it is now. All that shit. So there's going to be a little glimpse, and that is going to be Saturday, August 30th. So 2 weeks from this Saturday will be the Disney Studio Showcase at Destination D23. So I don't know how much interestingness we'll actually get from that. Do I think they'll do anything super major there for Marvel? probably nothing super major. I mean, it'd be nice if they gave us, like, you know, some more Doomsday cast or further insights into Spider-Man that we cannot get from set photos and shit. You know, something like that would be nice. I wonder if Lucasfilm will dare to announce an actual, like, production date for, like, one of its upcoming things. Like, for example, I wonder if they'll announce when Sean Levy's movie actually begins filming. Something along those lines. Ooh, maybe they'll have a little something about Ahsoka Season 2. Has that filmed? Is that done filming? Is it currently filming? Okay, well, it's been filming at least since May. This time. Oh, no, it doesn't. Wow. It's supposed to run till October. Oh, wait, no. Okay, yeah, so it's supposed to wrap pretty soon by the start of fall. It's been filming since May. So, yeah, they've been filming plenty long enough to maybe give us a bit of a teaser there. And wouldn't that be kind of nice? I think it'd be pretty cool to get a little teaser of Ahsoka Season 2. I would like it. I know Star Wars is kind of in the toilet, just like Marvel's kind of in the toilet. Speaking of which, I don't know if y'all have ever bothered to look at my fucking view count on any of my videos, but I don't know if you noticed. The last video that I had hit triple digits was the Superman spoiler review. Everything Marvel has been for shit. And then the fucking watch party for Alien Earth last night is cracked 90. I've had one stream that's been like headlined by Marvel in the last month crack 70. Just one. And you know what that was? Fantastic Four spoiler review. Like, yes, my channel is dinky, but trends are trends. They're even reflected in my teeny numbers. And right now, Marvel is fucking weak, bro. But doesn't matter. I'm still going to talk about it. It's still the headliner for this stream. However, just saying, I'm glad Alien Earth is out. You know? But, yeah, so hopefully we get a little something in a couple weeks. Yeah. What do you guys think? Think we'll get anything interesting from any of the IP that we still give at least this much of a crap about? That's owned by Disney? What do you guys think? Think we'll get anything interesting? Oh no, totally. I'm saying no. We're doing Alien Earth watch party every fucking Tuesday, bro. No, I'm doing them. I'm glad for Alien Earth. It's something different, and it's still something awesome, and specifically importantly for this channel, it's something that gets me views. Or at least the first watch party did, so we'll see. Marvel's slowly picking themselves back up. So yeah, I know, but like for right now, it sucks. Like, I'm glad I don't rely on this channel to make a living right now. Like, guys, think about it, man. Like, Nerd Avengers in here. Think about this. Is it true that Josh has been, like, very get off my lawn lately? Yeah. Like, excessively so, somewhat, for someone who's only 37? Yes. Is it also true that with what the fuck's going on in, like, 2 of the 3 of the big IP that his channel's based on is kind of crappy? Does it make sense that he might be a little stressed out? Get off my lawny. Yup. So yeah, yes, Marvel is slowly picking. Yeah, like next year. I think next year people will finally realize that they are getting their poop in a group over there at Marvel, but we still got 11 months still, fucking, well, 11 and a half months until Brand New Day comes out, y'all. 11 and a half months. So, and he is right that a break will be good. Like, Marvel could use a break. Like, they got like a half a year break between the Marvels and Deadpool and Wolverine, and that seemed to, I mean, granted, it was Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds, and that'll wash the taste of anything out of your mouth. But yeah, still they came back 6 months later, 7 months later, and got 1.3 billion for that mofo. So yeah, they're not dead yet, but it ain't great. It is not great. Anywho, we'll get to Marvel though. There is much Marvel news, but we shall begin. Or not begin, but we shall move on now to some the sizzle news. So, Mr. Gunn did an interview with Entertainment Weekly because he doesn't have a studio to rent or anything. He can run around, be on social media, and do all these fucking interviews. Anyway, he did this interview, and again, this is with Entertainment Weekly. Ta-da! Could Margot Robbie return as Harley Quinn in James Gunn's new DC universe, or have this bird's wings been clipped? The new co-head of DC Studios, alongside Peter Safran, has been busy rebooting the comic book company's on-screen world with an entire slate of movies and shows that kicked off with last month's Superman, written and directed by Gunn. Now there's a new Superman, played by David Cordswet, a corporate justice gang instead of the Justice League, and I still fucking hate that name, and I still fucking hate the super suit. And ultimately, a new Wonder Woman and Batman who have yet to be cast, in addition to Robert Pattinson returning for the Batman Part 2. So, will there be a new Harley Quinn as well, or will Robbie return to play the fan-favorite character in the future? That will be revealed down the line, Gunn tells Entertainment Weekly. While Gunn remained tight-lipped on further explanation, he did reveal another Suicide Squad member he's keen to bring back for this new age of DC. I definitely am always looking for a place to put Bloodsport and figuring that out, Gunn says of Idris Elba's ruthless mercenary from the 2021 sequel. So we'll see what happens. Oh, Suicide Squad, yeah. Yeah, the 2021 dumpster fire of a fucking movie that sucked all the balls and is the DC equivalent to Thor Love and Thunder. For me. I know there's a lot of people out there that love it. To me, that movie is just as stupid as fucking Love and Thunder, and I like it just as little. Which is to say, not at all a negative amount. I hate that fucking movie. It sucks. Yeah. But yeah, Gunn wants to bring Idris Elba back. Now, I did enjoy Idris Elba himself in that movie. I enjoy Idris Elba as an actor. So if Gunn wants to bring him back, I am totally down. Totally down. Totally down. Totally down. Blah, 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 blah. What do y'all think? Could get Margot Robbie? Probably won't, but could. And much more realistic is Gunn getting Idris Elba back for Bloodsport. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? I know, not like obviously not a massive deal, but I don't know. I mean, more Margot Robbie is never a bad thing, and she killed it as Harley Quinn. Like again, I enjoyed individual performances in the Suicide Squad, but yeah, overall that movie was horrible. Yeah, that's right. I fucking said it, and I'm standing on that shit. I stand on it. That movie's ass. Cool. Liked Robbie as Harley, but did not like the Joker. Yeah, a lot of people were not big fans of Jared Leto's Joker. I didn't mind him. Are there better takes? Yes, 100%. But like, I didn't hate the take, but I also don't love it. You know, obviously Heath Ledger Joker is fucking goated. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Nicholson. That he was the Joker. He was my live action Joker growing up. Like, let's be real, love him as the Joker. But there's Heath Ledger, and then there's everyone else. Sort them out as you will.
Too far away from today.
Okay. Now more DCage. You guys ready to? You guys ready? So evidently there is a looks like some kind of event about the Peacemaker. Um, and one of the Hollywood Reporter's staff members found themselves at James Gunn. Now, this is something he actually should be at, so I'm not going to bitch about this. So they caught up with him, got a couple questions in, and he had it turned up. Oh, I better turn. Give me a second. I forgot. I got to deal with the music. Got to pause the music. Pause. All right, here we go. Turn that up so you can hear him. Put my headphones on so I can hear him. But yeah. So here's James Gunn.
I've already finished the treatment for the next story in what I'll call the Superman saga. The treatment's done, which means a very, very worked out treatment, and I'm working on that, and hopefully going into production on that. Not too far away from today. I've already finished the treatment for.
So, ladies and gentlemen, evidently, we have a full-on Superman saga running inside of Chapter 1 of the DCU Gods and Monsters. So within Chapter 1, we have a Superman saga. He has completed the treatment on that. I'm not 100% sure what that means in Hollywood terms. I don't think it's the script. I think it's basically like... Actually, I don't know what it is. I feel like it's something like an outline, but don't fucking quote me on that. But yeah, so he already has the treatment done, which is a big step in pre-production. I do know that much. For the next movie in the Superman saga, which is probably the same movie that we talked about last week when they were talking about the next project in the Super family. Got to be the same thing. Must be the same thing. So, but that's kind of cool. So, like, he already has the treatment done. He's mostly ready to get rolling on it. I mean, we all enjoyed Superman. I'm pretty sure I'm going to enjoy Supergirl. I mean, we'll see next summer, but like, real talk though, I think I'm going to enjoy it because of Jason Momoa as Lobo, because I love Lobo as a character. I love Momoa. Momoa doing Lobo. For me, that may as well be the Lobo movie. I don't care if he's only in it for like a scene. That's just me though. Now, don't get me wrong. I think Millie Alcock's going to kill it. I think she's going to do a damn good job. Obviously, I think Momoa is going to do a good job. I don't remember who else is in that motherfucker, but I think it's actually probably going to be a pretty good movie. Like overall, I think it's going to be a good movie. But yeah, it's interesting. Still have no idea what the hell he's going to do. Like, will it be a team up with him and Supergirl? Uh, will it be? I mean, he said the next Superman movie is not going to be won't be a full on sequel. So maybe. Excuse me. Well, as it turns out, chat, we may have actually gotten a clue as to what it'll be already. There was a little featurette about the making of Superman. And as usual, there are the people that have more time to do things like this than I do. So they went through this featurette with a fine tooth comb, and someone found this image. So we have obviously Supergirl, Superman, with a hand that looks like a butt. Tell me that don't look like some cheeks. Or a nutsack. I'm going to go with cheeks, though, but the more I look at it, the more it looks like a nutsack. Anyway, so obviously we have Supergirl, Kara Zor-El. We have Superman, Kal-El. We have Krypto. Exactly, Spicy Dan. And then down here in the corner, right here, y'all know who this is? This is Brainiac, folks. We have ourselves a Brainiac. Now, I don't know much about Brainiac other than, what I can tell from the name. And obviously, he's like ridiculously intelligent. From what I can understand, he's like an alien or some shit, been around a long time. But also, again, I haven't read it. I've read even less DC than I have of Marvel. So, actually, I should go see if Rob has a video on Brainiac. Alcock giggity. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'd give Millie the Alcock. Anywho, yeah. So, does this actually? Does this mean jack squat, or is this just some random doodles? Or is this representative of future plans? I feel like it's possible. If nothing else, this is on the table. I would say this concept is probably at least on the table as far as potential future plans go. But is it representative of something that's actually in the works, or just something they're like preheating the oven for, but are still reserving the right to turn that oven right the fuck off? Right now we have no fucking clue, but as is the usual with a lot of the nerdy news we go over, the possibilities, folks, the possibilities. In this case, the possibility of the Brainiac being at least a big bad at some point in this chapter, possibly specifically in the newly crowned Superman saga. We could be seeing some Brainiac in the future of the DCU, folks. And possibly, maybe, even sooner rather than later. No way of knowing for sure, because again, this is all speculation based on one picture. But that's kind of what we do here. We latch on to the smallest detail and overthink the absolute fuck out of it. And then, depending on what we come up with when we're overthinking it, maybe we'll fanboy about it too. And then we'll go on from there. Now, the final thing for DC I wish to talk about this evening is the fact that, I don't know if y'all remember, there's a report come out like a week and a half ago at this point that had said that Superman was going to go to digital on the 15th, which is day after tomorrow. And then within not too long after that initial report, another report came out saying, oh, no, 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 no. The August 15th date is bullshit. It is not coming out till August 26th. Okay, fine. What the fuck ever. But now, chat, it just came out the other day that, oh, no, wait. We are going to go ahead and release it on the 15th after all. So first of all, why would there be a report coming out that's the 15th? And then y'all are like, no, it's the 26th. Okay, fine, but that means you were going to put it on the 15th at one point. That information got out. Now, you may have changed it since that information got out, but at least at some point you were already looking at the 15th. And then you're like, fuck it, 26th. Okay, cool. Now, all of a sudden, we're back to the 15th. Now, first question, why? Why are we bouncing this date back and forth 11 days, week and a half? Why are we doing this? Well, the reason it may have been pushed out this is all speculation for the record. I'm not reporting shit. This is just me and my thinks. Okay? Okay. First of all, while it's not blowing the fucking doors off the box office, this movie actually is maintaining decent legs for what it is and what's happening around it. So, DC / Warner Brothers might have taken a look at its relatively strong holds, holds that are stronger than have been expected this entire time, by the way. So they may have taken a look at that, been like, you know what? Let this thing run till them legs are actually broke. Then we'll put it on digital. Which makes sense, right? Keep it in the theater as long as you can. Make what you can there, then put it on digital and make up the rest of what you need to make, between that merch and, all the other ancillary items that, help a movie that may have not done well in the box office still actually at least break even, if not make a profit for the studio. I mean, we pretty much obsess over box office and don't give two shits about ancillary. Obviously, the studios do because that's the number they deal in is what they bring in from everything. But we like to talk about whether something is a success, a hit, like should have done better, or a complete fucking flop because that's how we roll. Therefore, we only really care about the box office. But like I said, they might have been looking at the good holds and been like, you know what? Let's milk this fucking cow for another couple weeks. But again, all of a sudden, we're back to the 15th now. So what the hell? Did the holds all of a sudden get weaker? What changed? Well, last I checked, the holds are still the same as they have been. They were just as good, same numbers today as they were on Monday. So why push it back again to the 15th? Well, it is on its last legs, number one. Number two, there is actually still hype around it. It's still being talked about. Like people are keeping track of this movie, even if they're not going back to the theater to watch it. Like there's still a fair chunk of social media buzz. The name is still fairly firmly out there in the zeitgeist, in the pop culture zeitgeist even. So, studio's probably looking at that going, you know what? Yes, we could milk this puppy in the theater for as much as we can. Or we can, as they say from back in the Old West days, we can strike while the iron, or actually even longer ago than that. I think it might be even a blacksmithing thing. Yeah, we can strike while the iron is hot, as it were. In other words, we can drop this puppy digitally while it is still forward in people's minds. So we can give them the option of, they can still go see it in like an IMAX screen, or if they've seen it in the theater once and don't really want to go back to the theater again, boom, here you go, watch the convenience of your home. Yeah. And again, that's while Superman as a subject, as a name, is still fairly front facing in the pop culture zeitgeist right now. So if you're wanting to try to get that ancillary money going in a hurry, then yeah, you do your digital drop of your movie that's still being talked about sooner rather than later. Yeah. Now, what does this mean for the industry as a whole? Studios, no clue. What does this mean for theaters? There's going to have to be a lot of adjustments um, made by the theaters. Um, and I don't know if they can count on the studios to actually be any kind of help. Um, because, like, literally, the studios would make more of a profit if they did not have to deal with the theaters. Like, if they were just like, hey, look at this badass movie. We're not going to put it right on just on the normal subscription part. We'll put it on the streaming app. Plane about to land. All right, well, have fun out there, bro. Enjoy your time. We'll see you. Well, the next time you can make it, whenever that is. That's cool, man. You're there. You're there for and with family. Take care. Do the family thing. Don't even worry about this shit. Um. Yes, theaters. Now, it would not surprise me if studios eventually, again, market the hell out of a movie, make it look really good, and then go, okay, yes, we are. It is going to be available on our streaming service, but still gonna have to pay for it for a while, and then we'll take the paywall off, and it'll just be part of the subscription, and just completely take the theaters out of the equation, uh, and thusly eliminating the need for contracts with theaters, um, theaters getting their cut off the top, that kind of thing. Like they could literally, I shouldn't say literally, but roundabout, they would probably make. Let me think here. Do some quick, hopefully not too shitty math. Probably get 30% or 40%. They'd make 30 to 40% more money per movie, with at least without having to deal with theaters in the middle of everything. They can just go movie made, movie marketed on the app, but you got to pay extra for it for now. Um, and then they'll take it out from behind the extra money paywall, and then it'll just be on the app. Or actually, better, they wouldn't put it on the app to start. It would just be like digital download. You pay, digital download, and then eventually it would be streaming on the app. But yeah, and again, this is like 40, 30. What is it? 30, like somewhere between 30 and 45 days after its premiere. It's hitting VOD. It's gonna be interesting to see how this shit goes. Now, Marvel doesn't do anything anywhere near as fast. Like Thunderbolts still isn't on Disney Plus yet. When did it hit video on demand? Has it even been on VOD? Okay, yeah, yeah. All right, so Thunderbolts. No, Thunderbolts hit. Thunderbolt. My bad. Thunderbolts hit digital about a month after it came out. but it's not hitting Disney Plus till the 27th. Okay. So yeah, that appears to be about the industry average at this point, at least so far as comic book movies go. Is that things in the theater for like 4, maybe 5 weeks, and then poof, digital. Now that's VOD though, like pay some money over and above your subscription to the streaming app. So we're talking digital download and shit for this one. So yeah, I think they're just striking while the iron's hot, going, you know what? This shit's still fairly popular. Let's get some of that ancillary dough, bolster this bottom line up. Yeah. You guys think that's a good idea? Setting aside its potential effect on theaters. Well, first of all, are theaters fucked? Like, is this just how it's gonna go? Like, theaters have to make big time adjustments. I don't know if they're like totally fucked, but many adjustments need to be made, or theaters will go the way of the dodo eventually. Might not be super soon, but it might not be that far off either. Yeah, no? All right, one last little bit of DC news. Pretty sure these are both animated features we're about to talk about. But DC Studios has confirmed that Starfire and My Adventures with Green Lantern, which what's this, Jessica something or other, I think is this one's name. I can't remember offhand. Will not take place in the DCU. So we have two animated Elseworld projects here. Like, okay, fine and dandy. Now we know those aren't part of the continuity. But you know what project is still going to be part of the continuity? That show, I can't remember what it's titled, but it's the one with the two Robins. It's the one with Dick Grayson and Jason Todd. That's going to be that weird ass mix of like straight animation, like stop motion, and some other shit. Um, that one is going to be like main DCU continuity. Now let's think about this, chat. It's not a full live action show. Again, it's partially animated, partially stop motion, partially something else. I think the something else is sort of pseudo live actiony kind of thing, but we're not talking like Space Jam here. At least not that I'm aware of. But yeah, so that show with Dick Grayson and Jason Todd in it is going to be canon to the main DCU continuity. Why am I bringing that up? Well, because the subject of Robin has caused a kerfluffle lately. As you'll recall, Jeff Snyder, who, despite what some people want to say, actually is really, really, really fucking good at his job. He reported late last week that the Batman 2 script has Robin in it. Don't know which one. All we know is that according to Jeff's source, Matt Reeves' script for the Batman 2 has Robin in it. Now, this is an Elseworlds Robin, but this is going to be the first new live action Robin under the DC sticker since Chris O'Donnell in Batman Forever. First live action Robin since then. So we got that. Now we got James Gunn coming in with two Robins. Dick Grayson, Jason Todd. Not in live action. The first Robin in live action that we know of to this point is still supposed to be Damian Wayne. But we got it. I don't know what the fuck's going on over there behind the scenes at Warner Brothers in DC, but like for two people that are supposedly getting along so well, like if all these reports are accurate, it doesn't seem like they're getting along so well. It's like we're having battles of the Robin right now. Like who the fuck knows when James Gunn is even going to get to the Batman movie? Like it's like, yeah, no, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. Are you doing something shit? You mean too old to play Robin, Chris O'Donnell? Yeah, that. Yes, Brennan, that. So, but yeah. So the Robbins show, I can't remember what the fuck it's called because I'm only mildly interested. Will be main DCU continuity. The Starfire show and the My Adventures with Green Lantern will not. They're just kind of there for our entertainment, for our pleasure, as it were. Yeah, I don't fucking care about that. It's just gun being gun, and I don't feel like dogging on them right now. Alrighty. Is that everything except for the Marvel? Oh, for those of you who are into the DC Comics, check this shit out. DC Comics has announced a Batman Static Beyond comic run. Issue 1 releases on November 12th. There's a nice little tidbit for anyone who's into the comics. Oh, yeah, that's what that was about right there. Ooh, what's it called? Oh, that's what it's called. Dynamic Duo. Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah, this article breaks down what I just stumblingly talked about for the last few minutes. Let's go through this real quick. A new DC blog seemingly revealed that one unexpected Batman movie is DCU canon. James Gunn's new interconnected superhero universe just took its first flight with Superman, but fans can rest assured knowing this is just the start of plenty of upcoming super-powered adventures. Woo! A significant part of this new comic book movie canon will be stories centered around Batman, with titles like Clayface and The Brave and the Bold confirmed to bring the world of DCU Dark Knight to life. Yeah, well, we don't know if Batman's actually going to be in Clayface. We just know that it's going to be about Clayface, the Batman, or the member of Batman's Rogues Gallery. Actually, we don't know that yet, Brennan. We do not know. Well, I mean, technically, if Dynamic Duo is canon to the DCU, then they haven't skipped past Grayson, at least not as in existence. Now, they have not mentioned Tim Drake because it's Grayson and Todd. But yeah, according to the currently known plans for Batman, Gunn does still want to do the Brave and the Bold with Damian Wayne. Yeah. So, however, several Batman adjacent projects have also been confirmed or assumed to take place outside the DC continuity. Paramount, not the company, among these has been Matt Reeves' The Batman Part 2, which is said not to be included in the new DCU. However, it's not the only one. Another movie many had thought would not be a part of the ever-growing DCU story has been Dynamic Duo, but that may not be the case. According to new information posted on DC.com, the animated Dynamic Duo may actually be a part of the DCU canon after all. Dynamic Duo appeared in a new blog post on the official DC website listing every DCU project currently in production. While its appearance on the list may seem innocuous, the list specifically calls out that the article did not include DC Studios productions that aren't set within the shared DC universe. That's just a quick snapshot of everything currently in production, and one thing to note is that we didn't include DC Studios productions that aren't set within the shared DC universe, like Matt Reeves' 2027 sequel to The Batman, and upcoming animated series like Starfire and My Adventures with Green Lantern. This seemingly indicates that, despite previously being unclear whether Dynamic Duo was an Elseworlds movie or part of the DCU canon, it has been confirmed to be part of Gunn's new on-screen continuity. Dynamic Duo is a new animated DC movie from American animation studio Swaybox Studios. The film, which is said to be which is said to be a unique combination of puppetry, stop motion, animation, and CGI, centers on two Robins, Dick Grayson and Jason Todd, during their early days as Batman's trusty sidekick. Dynamic Duo is due out in theaters June 30th, 2028. Okay, well, I got time for that shit. I don't care about their speculation on what it means. So, yeah, a much better summary of what I was talking about. Thank you, Direct, for that one. Womp. Womp. I should clean out my bookmark more often. Womp. Especially as I talk about shit. Yeah. Over there. Thank you. All right. Anything else? Anything else DC before we go? Oh, hey. You guys can see all that shit. Yeah. That one anymore. Well, I think that might be it. All right, cool. Cool. Yeah. A saga in a saga, kindly. Or kindly. Kinda. All right, y'all. It's time for me to step away for just a little bit. Need to use the toite and stuff. And I'll be back in just a wee bit. I may as well leave that up. Play some music for you. I'll be back shortly. And then we'll talk about all the Marvel-y news, of which there's a shit ton. All right, seriously, I'm leaving this time. Oh, yeah. Delta Dan, what's up, man? Lou, what's up? What's going on, y'all? Oh, hey, turn down the music, dum-dum. There we go. All right. Cool. Cool. All right. All right. All right, chat. We have left Marvel. And it's not just a little Marvel. We got a fair chunk of Marvel to talk about. Top, motherfucker. Thank you. Okay. First item of business. We're going to start with tidbits, and then we're going to work our way up to the Brochachos 515. Welcome. Thanks for popping in. Hit all the buttons. Matter of fact, everyone, hit the fucking like button, pretty please. That's first. And then for those of you who are new, like Derpy Entertainment, I can't remember if you've been in here and hit the sub button yet or not, but I do not recognize Brochachos 515. So, as you are new, first of all, welcome. Thanks for popping in. Hope you have fun. And also hit the fucking sub button as well as the like. Pretty please. Thank you. Yes. So, we're going to start with Marvel Titty Bits. Pause. Tidbits. And, then we'll work our way up to the big shizzle. So, little tidbit. It's some sort of, I don't know, whatever the hell. Anyway, someone was talking to Joshito Gomez, known to us as America Chavez, Traveler of the Multiverse, does not deny that she might have a role in Doomsday. I mean, I'm excited to see her future. I think most importantly, what do you guys want to see? I would love to see that. Hopefully, we'll cook up something with what y'all put out there. Okay, so, I mean, typical response for a Marvel employee, right? Now, it would make a whole shit ton of sense for America Chavez to show up in Doomsday because she is the only character that we have in the MCU currently that can travel the multiverse without the aid of magic or technology. She can just go and go somewhere. So it would make a shit ton of sense for her to be in Doomsday, right? Right. I don't have the tweet right here, but yeah, fuck it, I don't feel it. Anyway, later on, My Time to Shine Hello came out. Quote tweeted either this specific tweet or one similar to it, and proceeded to say that it's considering her power set, it's really fucking dumb. Basically, I'm paraphrasing. It's really fucking dumb for them not to have her in Doomsday. So, according to My Time, she ain't going to be in a movie. At least not Doomsday. The subject of Secret Wars was not brought up. Although, this movie would make much more sense for her to be in, since most of Secret Wars is going to take place in whatever version of Battle World the Russos are coming up with. Right? So, not going to be a multiverse at that point, just the one universe. Under Doom. So, she won't really be necessary at that point. Doomsday is where she would really come in handy. But according to My Time, she ain't going to fucking be in it. Which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Again, considering her power set is literally traveling the multiverse without any outside aid. So, hopefully My Time's wrong, because that would actually kind of be dumb. You know what I mean? If they got to bounce back and forth between universes, why not do it the easiest way? Be like, yo, Merca Chavez, come on over here. Start punching star-shaped holes in the universe for us, please, and thank you. That would make the most sense. But allegedly, she ain't going to be in it. Allegedly, she is not going to be in it. Okay. What's next? What next? Well, evidently Spider-Man is last day filming in Glasgow is tomorrow, and then they're moving. And another movie is going to be there. Okay. Allegedly, Sadie Sink is on set as of yesterday. So people thought they had a picture of Sadie on set. Where is it? Now that I mentioned her, I know I have one on this. Yeah. So this picture popped up, and everyone's like, "Oh shit, it's blonde hair. It must be Sadie Sink, and it's confirmed. She's fucking playing Gwen Stacy. Holy shit!" Yeah, except for the fact that this happened. Well, false alarm. The person everyone thinks is Sadie Sink seems to be someone from Sound. They have a staffed flask. If we look closely at the video they uploaded, we have to keep waiting, but Destin already confirmed in his stories that Sadie is in Glasgow. Okay, so Destin Daniel Cretton confirmed that Sadie's there. So that's not just scooper rumory shit. She is there. There are no pictures of her to this point, so we don't know if she's going to be Gwen. We don't know if she's going to be Jean. We don't know if she's blonde. We don't know if she's a redhead. We don't know if they stuck her in a black fucking wig. We don't know shizzle. And no, I was not taking a dump, Delta Dan. I was not taking a dump. Now, our buddy Jash over at the Den of Nerds noticed this. And that was the fact that when this picture came out, literally all the scoopers, almost all simultaneously, was like, no, that ain't fucking her. That ain't her. And that was before we got this confirmation that she was a member of the sound crew. They were just all, my time, nope, ain't her. Rickman, nope, ain't her. A couple others whose names I can't recall. Maybe APOC Horseman from Nexus Point News. Maybe, I don't remember if Macwell said anything. But yeah, anyway, a lot of the couple, the big names were all like, "Hey, yo, that ain't that bitch." Okay. So then Josh comes up with this. The way the scoopers called this out so fast means they all know it isn't Gwen. Is it Jean? Now that's an interesting interesting observation to make. Is that like this picture was uploaded by somebody. The tweet I have here is not the original account. They just clipped this one image from the video and highlighted the whatever that was. The proof that this was a member of the crew. But it's interesting that Josh interpreted the fact that the scoopers were like, nope, not it. That they know that Sadie Sink is not playing Gwen. I believe it was My Time also came out with a post. I didn't find it when I was looking through her page earlier, though. I don't know why. But I think it was My Time that it said the character Sadie Sink is playing. I will not reveal because it would be too huge of a spoiler. Interesting. Now, does that preclude it being Gwen? That observation by My Time? That statement, I should say? No. It does not preclude it being Gwen. However, it does actually open it up more. Griff. I those don't work. Now, it is entirely possible that Josh is right, that they're like, they instantly saw a blonde and was like, nope, that ain't her, and immediately commented on it. Because she's not going to be Gwen. It's a logical thought process. Like, okay, that's a blonde. Oh no, wait, that's not. Holy shit, is that Sadie Sink as Gwen? And the Scooper's all. Hold on, cat things. I'll be right back. Forget the phrase fighting like cats and dogs. It should just be fighting like cats and cats. Good God. Assholes. Anyway, um, where was I? Oh, yeah. Logical line of thought. Scooper's being like, nope, not her instantly because they know it's not supposed to be a blonde in the first place. So the question is, who the fuck is it then? Again, we've got Snyder still saying he's hearing Jean Grey. There's still the Mayday Parker theory out there. I am still trying to rationalize how the fuck Jean Grey would have anything to do with this movie. Mayday Parker makes more sense than Jean Grey, in my opinion. I don't know what you think, but I think Mayday Parker makes more sense than Jean Grey. Um, technically being a family member of sorts. Now, Mayday Parker would definitely make it multiversal. Jean Grey, not necessarily. Now, they would then have to issue some exposition. Well, they wouldn't have to, but it'd be nice about, like, where the fuck the X-Men been this whole goddamn time? Like, where you been, Jean Grey? Where's the rest of your fucking crew been this whole time? So that would have to be addressed at least minimally. Along with a decent explanation of, like, why the fuck she's even bothering with this situation. Yeah, it's looking more and more like, at least for now, that Christian Harloff's source may have been mistaken for whatever reason. So, I mean, that's just kind of fun because it seems like where we used to have certainty, because Harloff's sources are pretty good. He's gotten, like, he doesn't fuck around with scooping all the time, but if he also doesn't bring anything up that could even be, like, construed as a scoop unless he is, like, pretty fucking sure. You know what I mean? Delta Dan. I don't know how Jean Grey would make sense, but it would make sense before the next two movies. I mean, yeah, they could totally bring in Jean Grey to set up Doomsday in some fashion or another, 100%. It would take some finagling, is all I'm saying. All I'm saying. Do I want to talk about this one or do I not? I do not. All right. So, continuing on with some Spider-Man talk. It looks like we got, like, actual confirmation, rather than speculation based on a lot of evidence. That we are going to get Savage Hulk in Brand New Day. And as seems to have been the case lately, we are getting these spoilers from Hasbro. Hasbro be putting out toys that's giving stuff away. And in this case, it would appear they've done it with Hulk. Several details about Hasbro's 2026 Marvel Legends action figure lineup surfaced online. Among other exciting additions to the line from Avengers, Doomsday, and Thunderbolts is a trio of figures from Spider-Man Brand New Day. One such figure might help shed some light on the Hulk's status as of the film. Popular toy review channel Displaying Model Behavior recently uploaded a video containing information that he got a hold of about what Hasbro will offer with Marvel Legends next year. One intriguing listing is Hulk. The Gamma Goliath, oh that's clever, will evidently be part of the assortment for Spider-Man Brand New Day. Mark Ruffalo has also been confirmed to return as Dr. Bruce Banner in the MCU's fourth Spider-Man solo movie. Bruce is multifaceted and, is multifaceted, and there's not just him in there. Since Avengers Endgame, Bruce has lived in a form colloquially dubbed Smart Hulk or Professor Hulk or Bitch Hulk. Like this, he retains all of his intellect, but with the Hulk's physicality and all that it entails, except he can't use it well because he's not pissed off. The change hasn't sat well with everyone. No shit. A large swath of the MCU's expansive fanbase has clamored for Bruce to lose control and to become the ferocious Savage Hulk once again. Damn right. It's always been in the character's pathos to struggle with stability. Instability causes Bruce to transform, propels the Hulk, and can cause the Beast to reemerge. So, with Ruffalo's role in Spider-Man Brand New Day being sight unseen, many cling to any scrap of info about what Bruce Banner will get himself into in the film. In Displaying Model Behavior's video, he uses his informed belief that Hasbro will make a new MCU Hulk figure to tie into Brand New Day to comment on the widespread consensus that Spider-Man 4 will boil Smart Hulk down to Savage Hulk. Oh, that's bullshit. Nothing concrete yet supports this, but the twist isn't difficult to predict. Nonetheless, the action figure's supposed upcoming release is compelling. A Smart Hulk figure was produced for the second of two Marvel Legends waves based on Avengers Endgame. The Legends generally doesn't release many MCU Hulk figures. In the 17 years of the MCU, Hasbro's released 4 unique Hulk offerings, apart from a deluge of gimmicky variants for 2008's Incredible Hulk. Those items did not carry the Marvel Legends name, however, and the brand itself was dormant. Not bad. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So it's less. Jesus, how long is this fucking article? Oh, okay. Anyway, so it's less official, and more this is someone who knows how Hasbro works and what they'd be doing. Jean Grey would be the only one qualified to mess up a Venom Hulk if that's still a thing. Yeah, I mean, it's a possibility. I don't know how large of a possibility it is, but it's still possible. Why would Jean be introduced in a Spider-Man movie? I don't fucking know. Unless it's in some form of setup for Doomsday. So yeah, that's what I can't wrap my head around is why it would be fucking Jean Grey. I mean, I'm sure, there's people with much more knowledge and creativity than me that could come up with, multiple good reasons as to why. I can't. I mean, again, outside of they're using it in some form or fashion to set something up for Doomsday. Now, whether that's actually, with her, just for Spider-Man, a little bit of both, who the fuck knows? But yeah, outside of somehow tying this movie directly into Doomsday, I have no fucking idea why the hell Jean Grey would be in this movie. No idea whatsoever. Okay. What to talk Oh yeah, little kerfluffle about Daredevil season 2 earlier this week. So Charlie Cox, at some kind of event, was talking about the black suit, and we had got this little quote. Charlie Cox on Matt Murdock's new black suit in Daredevil Born Again season 2. There's something that we do in this final season that doesn't exist in the comics, so it is unique to our show, and I'm pretty excited about that. We're going to ignore that doesn't exist in the comics part and hope that's not something that they're going to classically fuck up. Right now, the key phrase is in this final season. The fuck you mean? They're only doing 2? Is this what Charlie Cox is saying to us? They're only going to do 2 seasons? Now, would this be a surprise after the performance of the first season that they wouldn't want to commit to a 3rd season till after they see how this 2nd season goes? Yeah, that makes total sense. Totally could be the case. Now, could it mean that they're just like, fuck it, we don't even care how good the 2nd season does? The first one was such a dumpster fire and we got bigger shit to concentrate on that we're just not going to bother with this shit? Yep, also a possibility. Is it possible that Charlie was not using the right words and there will be a season 3? Very possible, especially if you listen to Vincent D'Onofrio. Because Vincent D'Onofrio tweeted the following. I believe Charlie meant the last season we actually shot, meaning the 2nd season. Yet he used the term final season, so it's a bit confusing. But Charlie and I have discussed, and we both agree there's a very good chance for a 3rd season. And then he followed up later, Mr. D'Onofrio did. This time he is referring to an article from Giant Freaking Robot, who we know is somewhat questionable as a news source / site. Anyway, so yeah, the title is Marvel has ruined and canceled another beloved superhero. I mean, I don't know about ruined, but that first, he's going to have a second walk of shame with She-Hulk and then curtains. Maybe, but I'm going to go with no. I know a lot of people hated the walk of shame with him, but I actually found it was kind of fucking funny. Anyway, that's just me, though. I have a very twisted sense of humor every once in a while. Anywho, so, and then D'Onofrio, like an hour later, literally, quote tweets this article from Giant Freaking Robot. Marvel has ruined and canceled another beloved superhero. And he says the following. So dramatic. LOL. This article is not the correct info. I've just tweeted about why it's confusing and the fact there's a very good chance we will have a 3rd. Yep. I just read that one. It's just too early to tell, but it's very likely, regardless of what this article says. So, at least as far as Wilson Fisk is concerned, there's a pretty good chance we are still going to get a season 3. And, you know, if I'm Marvel and Wilson Fisk tells me that there should be a season 3, I'm probably going to fucking listen. Just saying. Just saying. C-Dub. Who you calling a lady, bitch? All right. So, little Daredevil drama. Possibly not getting a season 3. Possibly are getting a season 3. Catching up on the stream. Just finished the new Sunny. Oh, you're talking about It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia? Cool. I haven't watched it, but I hear it's magnificent. All right. So, The guy playing Nightcrawler, Alan Cumming, shared a couple of things. First off, he shared this video, and I don't know what the fuck it's supposed to mean. Looks like he's got some mocap shit on right here. And then all these lights. And then he's like, what up? I don't know what the significance of that is, but it's interesting. And then he also posted this. We have a box with the comic looking version. And then we have this. I wonder if I can zoom in on it. Now, this looks like him as he looked in X2, except hair's different. And it looks like he's wearing a more comic accurate uniform. Now, isn't that interesting? And of course, you know, the teeth. Okay, yeah, here's an already pre-zoomed in. What the fuck? Yeah, here's a better look than Mike Greeny has zoomed in look. But yeah, as you can see, again, looks like him from X2, but different hair and more of a comic accurate outfit, which I dig. So that's pretty fucking cool right there. So we may have we may have just gotten our first look at what Nightcrawler is going to look like in Doomsday, folks. And it looks like he's going to have at least a somewhat comic accurate suit happening. And then oh, well, that's lame. Now, also the same day, someone posted this as apparently it's just fan art, finding it from April 30th of last year, which kind of is a bummer. Yeah, because Alex retweeted this, said there's his look, and then this guy's like, that's fan art from 2024. But then Alex says, I know it is, and it still bears a resemblance to what he looks like. So according to Alex, this fan art is still going, the version of Nightcrawler we're going to see in Doomsday is still going to resemble this fan art. Low-class modern version of Seinfeld? See, I did not like Seinfeld. So Alex is like, yeah, that may be fan art, but that's still kind of what he's going to look like. And then he was asked, will he have his swords? Which Alex just replied with this emoji. In other words, yes, he's going to have his fucking swords. So that may have been fan art, but according to Mr. Perez, that is pretty close to the look he is going to have. Which, for me, that's pretty fucking cool. If it's gonna look a lot like that fan art, bring it on. I am very much here for that shit. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. What do you guys think? I think that's pretty fucking cool. I think that's pretty fucking cool. Any thoughts on the Nightcrawler of it all, chat? Or shall we move on to the next little Marvel bit of news? Anything? Anything at all? Yes, no, maybe so. How can I have a shit connection? How can I have a good connection when it's just the scene up and no me actually on camera? And then the second I go to camera, it goes to shit. But now all of a sudden, I have changed literally nothing, and now my connection is excellent again. I wonder if it's just like something in the Wi-Fi signal. It's a little hinky sometimes. Excuse me. It's just weird. Anyway. All right. Moving on. A little bit more Spider-Man-y newsies. Maybe. Anyway. So, Thursday night, or no, Monday night on the newly added shortened second Hot Mic show that has been added to the week. On Monday, on the early week edition of the Hot Mic, I guess we'll call it, Jeff Snyder got a text. And that text said that Carrie Coon is reportedly playing a villain in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Now, Miss Coon here, pretty attractive lady, has already had a role in the MCU. If you are not aware, she was Proxima Midnight in Infinity War. And she got dead in Infinity War and was not in Endgame because her and Marvel could not agree on the moolah. She wanted more than what they were willing to pay. So she was not in Endgame. Yeah, so Snyder got a text. It was like, hey, yo, this is the end of the stream. Did I rate Alien Earth? Yes, I did. And first episode 8, second episode 9, overall 9. That show is awesome. So, of course, speculation was, oh, shit. Who is she going to play? And then speculation abounded. And then yesterday, Snyder tweeted the following. Now, he had said on the show that he was going to be looking for more verification. That the source he got it from was, while like pretty good, is like not the best. So he did some more checking and then tweeted this yesterday. Finally got word back on Carrie Coon and hearing it's not true. So the search continues for the mystery Spidey villain. Looking forward to seeing whatever her secret announcement is. So evidently Carrie Coon has some kind of announcement, but evidently it's also not that she's in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Now, it does appear that they are, like, there's been reports that they are still going to have some sort of female villain in Spider-Man Brand New Day. So, we'll see how that goes, but if they are sticking with having a Spider-Man or a female villain in Spider-Man Brand New Day, it ain't going to be her. They're going to be doing it. It's going to be a different actress. Oh, we're almost to it. We're almost to it. All right, so, oh yeah, I'll talk about. Okay, cool. Yeah. So next little thing before we get into like the doomsday of it all and really dip in to that shizzle. Ryan Reynolds on his own Instagram posted a fun little photo that got people's tongues a wagging, and it was just the Avengers symbol, which looks like kind of on a flag, with the group symbol from Deadpool and Wolverine drawn over it. Now, we've seen him do that before for actual Deadpool and Wolverine, so okay, fine, whatever. But he just posted this yesterday. So, of course, what is the most logical first question? Does this mean he's going to be in Doomsday? Is this confirmation that we're getting Deadpool in Doomsday? And if that is the case, does that mean that Wolverine's going to be tagging along with him again? Does that confirm both of them? Kind of, sort of, maybe? Is that what that means? Does this mean we're going to get resolution to the scene in the TVA where he saw Thor crying over him? Is that going to get resolved? You know, the usual questions that would follow a vague posting like this. Personally, yeah, I think he's going to be in, well, he's definitely going to be in Secret Wars. Could be in Doomsday. I mean, it makes sense for both. I'm here for it, especially if it means we're getting Hugh Jackman. So, personally, while I don't think this is like a confirmation, it's kind of a confirmation. I think he's going to be in Doomsday. Answer. Somebody called, executive judge says, somebody called John Campea and said it's not related to Doomsday at all. Okay. Is this somebody actually a somebody? And if it's not related to Doomsday, does that mean it's only related to Secret Wars? Because I don't think Ryan Reynolds is going to post a picture of the group from his movies A over the Avengers A. When we have 2 Avengers movies coming, unless it means something. So, if it's not related to Doomsday, that must be related to Secret Wars. Because if it's not, if he's just posting shit to post shit, that would be lame. Although it's Ryan Reynolds, so I wouldn't necessarily put it past him now that I'm thinking about it. But, yeah, I would. One of Campia's sources, they called him right after his show yesterday and said that. Oh, okay. Interesting. Well, okay. I mean, I can buy that it's not Doomsday, but if he's making pictures with the Avengers A in it, then it's got to be Secret Wars. If it's not Doomsday, it's fucking Secret Wars. But I'd be willing to bet it's Doomsday. Like they're literally going to be in that universe at some point. As far as I understand it. So, I don't know. Campia's source could very well be right. It could have nothing to do with Doomsday. Could just be Secret Wars. But I don't see how he's not in one of the Avengers movies. Like, even before he posted this, I didn't see a way that he wasn't going to be in at least Secret Wars. So, okay. Yeah, so if that source is right, it's not Doomsday, but he's going to be in fucking Secret Wars. They're going to be dangling, they're going to be jangling janitor-sized keys in Doomsday and Secret Wars. It's going to be insane. Hope they can make a decent story out of both of them. Yeah, we all hope that. So, Ryan Reynolds is being a tease, being a bit of an edgelord with this one. So, we'll see, but got to be Secret Wars at a minimum. All right. We have one bit of Doomsday of it. We have one Doomsday report before we actually get into Alex Perez's August Q&A section, part 1, which is mostly about Doomsday. But first, we have this little tidbit from My Time to Shine. Hello. So according to My Time, when Steve Rogers went back in time and returned the Infinity Stones and lived out his life with Peggy, he created the incursions, and now Dr. Doom wants him dead because of it. Now, it's also out there, like a couple years ago, The Russos confirmed that as of the end of Endgame, there are 2 Steve Rogerses in the timeline simultaneously. There is, or at least one is in a branch timeline and one is in the 616. The old one we saw at the one of Endgame, and there's still a young one that we also saw at the end of Endgame dancing with Peggy. According to the Russos, those 2 are existing simultaneously in some form or fashion. So now, according to my time, the young one that stayed with Peggy, evidently he was never, ever, ever supposed to stay with Peggy. Like, we have, what my time is implying is that we have here what is known in the Spider-Verse movies as a canon event. Something that must be the way it is, or shit gonna get fucked up. Now, according to my time, in this case, the canon event would be Steve never being with Peggy because of the ice. Because of being, as Tony Stark so delicately put it, spending time as a capsicle. That's how it was supposed to go every time. They were never supposed to be together. Who was it? I wish I could remember, but someone made a jokey tweet about this. Is like, so Steve Rogers broke the universe because of cheeks. I don't know if it's because of cheeks, but if you've seen the right pictures of Haley Atwell, it might be because of them titties. Haley Atwell's pretty, and she's got some pretty big hooters. You don't think story has been issued the last 2 Marvel movies? No, it definitely hasn't. It has not been the issue the last 2. Now, 3 out of the 4 before that, I mean, I don't care how fun Deadpool and Wolverine was. That was a weak-ass story. I just did not care. But, yeah. So far as story goes, Brave New World, not great. Deadpool and Wolverine, again, fun, made a shit ton of money. Story on a technical level, not great. The Marvels, not great. Guardians 3, pretty fucking good. Quantumania, not great. Titties and cheeks are very cool. Ass and titties. Ass, titties. Ass, titties, titties, ass, and titties. I mean, we all heard that one before, haven't we? And if not, then y'all need to fucking catch up. Anyway. Yeah. So, according to my time, we have what appears to be the MCU version of a canon event from the Spider-Verse movies, in that Steve, by returning the Infinity Stones and then returning back to Peggy after that, evidently that was a trigger for some incursions. And evidently that pisses a Dr. Doom off, and Doom wants to kill his ass. This is according to my time to shine hello. Now that does actually, if you think about it, make sense. Now, the MCU really hasn't dealt with canon events, not like across the Spider-Verse, not like the Spider-Verse movies themselves have dealt in canon events. But if my time is accurate here, that's basically what this is. Steve broke a canon event. Ipso facto, hey presto, incursions. Oh, it's definitely super fun. Tig old biddies, exactly, Brennan. She do have tig old biddies. Story was kind of weak. Reynolds and Jackman's chemistry, yes, 100%. Yeah, you can make a weak ass story work if you surround it with enough dope shit. That's exactly what Deadpool and Wolverine was. It was a weak ass paper thin story surrounded by a bunch of dope shit. We didn't fucking care. So, yeah. So it looks like the MCU, again, if my time is accurate, is now delving into the land of canon events. But instead of, like in the Spider-Verse, where you break the canon event and that universe just dies, in this case, we got some incursions crapping in as a result. There's literally an article on the Cosmic Circus about a theater in Troy, Michigan. Look at this shit. Look at that. This is my state, bitches. Now I don't live near Troy. Troy's over in Macomb County. Or is that Oakland there? I don't remember. But yeah, not close to me. About an hour away. Anyway. It's like a northeast suburb of Detroit. I live in a southwestern suburb of Detroit. So. All right. But this right here is what we're here for. Alex Perez, August Q&A, Part 1. Avengers Doomsday. Ba-ba-ba-ba. You know what? No one cares about that fucking movie. Oh, you can only ask questions behind a paywall now. How nice is that? Anyway. Get out of my face. Okay. I think they'll bring the Thor Deadpool dying scene to life after the movie made 1.3 billion. They fucking better. And that's another reason why I think that picture that Reynolds posted is significant. Now again, campy source could be right. It could be not Doomsday, but that means it's Secret Wars. Now for some reports from a real scooper. I mean, look. As much shit as I like to give my time in Rickman, they're still, accuracy-wise, they are still higher-tier scoopers. They're not as good as Alex, and they are not as good as Jeff Snyder. They're like the next tier below, but they're still above the rest. Or most of the rest. You know what I mean? That makes sense? But yeah, no, Alex is peak. So here we go. Let's get into this shit. Now, some answers, they'll be what they'll be. Don't really need to talk about them. And others we're probably going to get way the fuck into. So buckle up, folks. I'm going to turn around and out of the mini fridge, grab me another pop real quick. Guys, grab yourself another drink. Make sure your bag of chips is handy because we're about to get down. I have decided I also want a muffin. All right, let us begin. Ooh, cinnamon. That apple cinnamon. Wow, that's good. All right. Here we go. The last Q&A, you mentioned that Shang-Chi would be a major side character and Shuri would be a side character. Could you clarify the difference between their roles? Now, it says, I generally don't recall mentioning Shuri being a side character or differentiating the importance of roles between these two characters, but the way I see it, and it has been described to me, the heroes who have been the faces of phases 4, 5, and 6, primarily in the movies, while phase 6 is only the Fantastic Four, will be the ones who have a bigger focus in Doomsday, but would, or at least try to, have equal screen time and appearances. I'm hesitant to provide an actual estimate on character appearance runtimes now, because both scripts for the Avengers films are being written without a specific runtime in mind. Yes, they have a goal time. They want to play out the story they have in their head and then work around, cut, edit, or reshoot as the production process develops. So in other words, they're doing this like they've done almost every other fucking Marvel movie in existence. The one thing I can say for sure is that the main character or hero for Avengers Doomsday will be Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom, in the same way Josh Brolin's Thanos was the main character of Avengers Infinity War. Now, that's awesome. Because for whatever reason, people were worried about Doom not being the main character in the movie with his fucking name in it. People were worried they were going to spend too much time on these Avengers teams, most of the members of whom, at least according to the box office, no one gives a fuck about. Except for a few. For the most part, new Avengers, no one gives a shit. Former Thunderbolts. No one gives a shit about Sam or the team he's going to build. I mean, there'll be a couple names on his team that people will probably give a shit about. For the most part, they don't care. Fantastic Four. General public doesn't seem to fucking care. That movie's struggling to even get to 500 million. It was hero in quotes. So not really the hero in their own mind. Basically, Thanos was a hero in his own mind because he was going to bring balance to the universe, and he's the only one with the will and to do what must be done. And there's going to be that same parallel with Doom. He'll be the hero in his own mind because he's the one that's going to take care of the death of the multiverse. And it just so happens to be he's going to do that by creating his own universe and being the ruler over it. So, not what we would consider a hero, but they would consider themselves heroes for being the ones to step up and do what needs to be done to make the hard call. See what I'm saying? So, all right. What are the teams and duos that fans can expect in Doomsday? This should be fun. Well, there's Sam's Avengers, the new Avengers with the Z, formerly known as the Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, Team Loki, and the X-Men. Oh, and Team Doom, although he doesn't really need anyone. All right, Sam's Avengers. Not a surprise. Not quite sure who the final roster on his team is going to be. I would imagine definitely Shang-Chi. Don't know about Doc Strange. He might be just flying around the multiverse doing his own thing. We don't know that yet. So I imagine we're looking at Shang-Chi, Captain Marvel, Bruce, Wong. I know I'm missing a few. Maybe She-Hulk. Hopefully not. Although they might need the brute strength. I mean, Monica Rambeau, obviously. They're going to have to get her out of the X-Men universe. TVA crew? Well, that's probably Team Loki, which I was going to get to. Yeah, so there's names I'm totally brain farting on, but that's basically Sam's team. The new Avengers with a Z, which is the Thunderbolts. Fantastic Four, self-explanatory. Team Loki, and the X-Men, and Team Doom. All right, so X-Men, self-explanatory, and we know it's going to be the Fox X-Men, not the new one that Sadie Sink may or may not be part of, the new young crew. We're talking the Fox X-Men. Now, Team Loki. Team Loki. As Executive Judge said, Team Loki could definitely involve the TVA crew, OB, Sylvie, and Mobius. Possibly. Another possibility, or maybe even it could be a combined thing. Some people, when they heard about Team Loki, put forth the idea of the Exiles or the Multiversal Avengers. Variants of our OG heroes. Loki could be collecting, or the TVA could be collecting to help protect Loki. But yeah, to me, that makes the most sense, is we'll get our favorites from the TVA and some multiversal characters. Because let's face it, normal-ass TVA people versus Doom. Y'all remember in the original Avengers when Loki was like, what quarrel? An ant has no quarrel with a boot. Well, in this case, Doom would be the boot and the TVA would be the ant. Like the TVA by themselves, no fucking shot. Zero, zip, nada. I have a better chance of going down on Sydney Sweeney than the TVA does of taking on Doom without a lot of help. Like, let's be real here. So, to me, Team Loki will have some TVA on it, but I also think they're going to need some backup. Now, said backup may come in the form of members of the already existing team. You know, some of Sam's Avengers, some of the new Avengers. But given that Loki is sitting at the center of the multiverse, I feel like multiversal versions of the Avengers are also a possibility. Now, that's pure speculation. This is all speculation. But I think it's entirely possible that Team Loki could consist of TVA people and some Avenger variants. And then there's Team Doom, although he doesn't really need anyone. Team Doom, this would be where we are getting the rumors of the evil Avenger. You know, Hydra Cap, Unworthy Thor, characters like that. Those would be the ones probably on Team Doom. But again, although he doesn't really need anyone. I mean, that's also fact. But still think that evil Avengers rumor sounds like super lazy cliche writing. Well, I mean, you think that. I don't agree. Give me evil Avengers, man. Give me Avengers that are doing shit that no one really would expect them to do. Have them do some severely evil shit that will shock people to their fucking core. That would be sick. Yeah, outside of like evil Avengers, I don't know who the fuck else would be on Team Doom. Like, I have no idea. If any of y'all have an idea, I would love to hear it. But I don't know who the hell else would be on Team Doom outside of evil Avengers. This muffin's really fucking good. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Greeting. As everyone pretty much knows by now, some of the Earths that will be featured in Avengers Doomsday include Earth 616, Earth 828, and the Fox X-Men's Earth 10005, or some version of it. Any chance you can give a hint on any other Earth we may visit? Ooh. Even with Loki's intervention at the end of his show in Season 2, the multiverse is still on the brink of collapse, and there's only a handful of viable Earths left. One of the Earths we're going to see is one completely decimated by the incursion, in order to make the heroes understand exactly what they're going up against. So it's going to look like the one from Multiverse of Madness. And here's what I want to know. In the comics, and this goes for the whichever Earth they went to with Sinister Strange. The way incursions work in the comics is it's not the universe just kind of gets fucked up and things get all ugly like we saw in Multiverse of Madness, or they don't get like decimated in the way he's talking about, where the heroes would understand. One of those universes, Earth and the universe just gets flat out destroyed, like just gone. So it would appear the MCU is making adjustments from that. So I imagine whichever Earth he's talking about, and who knows, it might even be the same one. And if it's not the same one, is at least going to look a lot like Sinister Strange's Earth from Multiverse of Madness. Could that be 838? I mean, yeah, we could go to 838 and see it decimated by an incursion that happened off screen. That is possible, or it could be just a completely new one. But yeah, I'd say the strongest possibilities are they end up back in Sinister Strange's universe. Like you said, it could be 838 decimated by an incursion we didn't see because it was off screen, or it could be just a whole nother, just kind of an example Earth that's out there that like, yeah, this is what happens if you don't fix this shit. So that's that. As we know, the trades reported that Chris Evans and Haley Atwell will appear in Avengers Doomsday. I was wondering if you can elaborate on their arcs/roles in Doomsday. End of the world, forced out of retirement. A hero's job is never done. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna get that whole deal. Talking about Steve staying with what's her butt in the past, Peggy, was going to cause issues. This kind of confirms that we're going to be dealing with a young Steve out of that, I guess you would say, a branch timeline that he created. So it looks like that is going to be the case. Wait a minute, when the hell did the trades report that? I don't remember the trades were ever reporting that. Huh. So Margaret who? Yeah. So yeah, looks like we're definitely getting young Steve and young Peggy. There was that. Y'all remember that house that they were talking about for a while on the Doomsday set that was codenamed Luke Cage? Well, it turns out that's going to be Steve and Peggy. Is what that's going to be. All right. Any exciting updates you can share about Doomsday or Secret Wars? The costume department is really bringing it with some of these looks. The X-Men look like a blend between Astonishing X-Men and X-Men 97. Well, there's X-Men 97. Oh, Peggy's nickname for Margaret? That's true. I forgot. Astonishing X-Men. Okay. All right. That's mostly traditional looking Cyclops. Cable. Oh, look. Archangel still got the blue skin, but his wings are feathers again. Blue and yellow Wolverine. Jean Grey in her Phoenix suit? Really? I'm not sure who the fuck this is. But, all right. Oh, and this is from Astonishing X-Men #1, evidently. Oh, Joss Whedon, really? Oh, look at that. He's got the head covering on in this one. What are they, bouncing around time? Look at this. Oh, cat face beast. Is that Emma? Looks like Emma, Wolverine, Cyclops. Is this Laura Kinney? Is that X-23? Or is that Kitty Pryde? Anybody know? See, here we go again with like the old school uni for God. Colossus, Wolverine. Oh. Okay, so a mix of that and X-Men 97. I'm down to see Archangel at this point. Well, on the cover, on that one cover, it looks like he used to be, but it looks like somehow like he still has the blue skin from being Archangel, but somehow it looks like they gave him his feathered wings back instead of those much more practical and useful blade chucking wings that Based on the characters that still haven't been confirmed for Avengers Doomsday, do you think Marvel will do another wave of casting announcements for the movie in the next few months? I could see them doing a casting update before the end of the year, but I really wouldn't expect any big surprises outside maybe one or two of her being brought in for Doomsday, since it's mainly just heroes from Earth 616 that have already been rumored before, like Peter Parker, Stephen Strange, Clea, Monica Rambeau, Bruce Banner, Tatiana Maslany, that's She-Hulk, Kate Bishop, Kamala Khan, Cassie Lang, Love, Hope Van Dyne. Hope Van Dyne? What's her butt ain't coming back? Is that Michelle Pfeiffer's character? Okoye, Team Loki. Okay, well, in this context, it looks like Team Loki is the TVA people. Mobius, B-15, will be Deadpool, Wolverine, etc. Okay, so he's saying Deadpool and Wolverine are going to be in Doomsday. Yeah, he does. According to Alex, it is going to be Deadpool and Wolverine in Doomsday. Oh, who's going to be right? Alex or Campia's source? We'll find out. So, yeah. Evangeline Lilly. Okay, yeah. She ain't coming back. She ain't coming back. Yeah. Peter, Strange, Clea, Rambooty, Bruce, She-Hulk. Now we get into this Young Avenger bullshit. Kate, Kamala, Cassie. I don't mind Love because she's technically the embodiment of eternity and hanging out with Thor. Again, Evangeline Lilly ain't fucking coming back. Okoye, Team Loki, Deadpool, Wolverine. Okay, cool. Alright. Next up, I was wondering if there are any major actors who weren't part of the Tears announcement who have already shot scenes for Doomsday. If so, do you have any idea who they might be? The actors, per se? No. But their stunt doubles? Absolutely. Noise. Any ideas on what Thor's arc is going to be like for Doomsday? Join the fray to stop the incursion from destroying this universe. Any ideas on what Doom's motivations will be in Doomsday? Ooh, this ought to be fun. He sees the incursions that are happening as a danger to the multiverse. No shit. And he wants to put a stop to it using a young Franklin Richards. Okay. He sees himself as the hero in this story and will do whatever it takes to make sure he stays on top. He wants to put a stop to it using a young Franklin Richards. Well, we had surmised both in the scenario that that post credit scene from F4 meant he was going to take Franklin, or the scenario that he wasn't necessarily going to take Franklin at that point, but would ingratiate himself with everybody and then maybe snag Franklin later once the rest of his plans were set to the point where he could without interference, or at least with very, very minimal interference. So, that's a couple ways it could play out, but it does. If part of his plan is using young Franklin Richards, more than likely, it's going to be without the permission of Reed and Sue. Kendall, what's happening, my guy? So I would surmise that at some point, Franklin's services are going to be involuntary. Question is how are they going to handle the lead up to that point? In the voice of Brain. What we going to do tonight, Doom? Same thing we do every night, Binky. Try and take over the world. Yep. So in this case, I guess what we're going to do tonight, Doom? Same thing we do every night, Doombot. Try and take over the world. There. Fixed it. Will Molecule Man be in Doomsday? No. Yeah. It's For quite some time now, it has looked like they are not adapting Molecule Man, at least in a straightforward fashion. When might we get a teaser or trailer for Avengers Doomsday? Well, let's work the math. Let's work the math on that. Oh, sure, he's going to bring logic into this instead of just answering the fucking question. Based on previous Marvel Studios' first teaser, trailer drops to release dates for movies, there's usually around a 4.5 to 5 month gap. Now, if Marvel keeps the December 2026 date, what do you mean if, motherfucker? That would place a teaser trailer dropping right around mid to late July 2026. Wonder what else happens in mid to late July. So evidently, we're going to get it around the time of Brand New Day, if not attached to the movie itself, which would be pretty cool. Now, I don't know. Like, they're going to have to do a balancing act with that because, obviously, I mean, Spider-Man's the biggest comic book character in the world, so there's going to be plenty of hype generated just because of that. However, Marvel still is going to have to walk a bit of a line with how much they start promoting Doomsday around the same time they're trying to get everyone's ass into the theater for Spider-Man. Like they want to keep Spider-Man forefront, but they also kind of want to start polishing the shine on Doomsday a little bit. So that's going to be interesting to see how they work that out. Now, what is this if Marvel keeps the December 2026 date? What is this bullshit? What is this if bullshit? They've already delayed these motherfucking movies 7 months each. Are they really going to push these bitches out till like what? May 2027 and May 2028? I don't think so. No. That would be ridiculous. There's a point at which you can over delay, even though you're doing it in order to get it right. There's a point at which you can over delay and people will just stop fucking caring at all. Like that, I don't know what this if it keeps the December 2026 date bullshit is, but I think Marvel would be fucking themselves massively if they push these movies again, regardless of whether they actually need the time or not. That would absolutely, in my opinion, destroy any momentum they had built up between now and next summer, going into next fall. That would be ridiculous. Much of the speculation around Doomsday has focused on returning characters. Do you have any info you can share regarding new characters? Not much, unfortunately. Ooh, will the Library of Worlds be seen in Doomsday or sequel? There was a concept for it. Not entirely sure if it will come to pass, though. However, I did hear there is a neat place from What If that we will get to see become live action. Yeah, that's true, Executive Judge. That's true. True. Hey, guys, what do you think this neat place from What If is that we will get to see become live action? It's been talked about before. Josh has brought it up. What have we seen in the What If show at any point that would make sense for it to be in Doomsday? Anybody? Any ideas, chat? I think I know what it is. Apparently, it'll be the World Forge. Boom! That's the one. That's the one that makes the most sense. It was seen in the season 2 finale. Correct. Yes, Doctor Strange was kidnapping people to power his World Forge so he could do what? Rebuild his universe. So wouldn't the World Forge come in super handy for Doom, who wants to take the collapsing multiverse and make his own universe out of it? World Forge would probably be pretty fucking helpful for that, I would think. I thought Josh only talked about Snorehammer. He talks about it a lot, but not only. Not only. At least not yet. Which is fine. If he bails on Marvel, y'all can come to me still. That'll work. I'll be cool with that. Make this channel explode. Anywho. But yeah. Yep. That's got to be the World Forge. That's the only really useful thing in the scenario that we're building in Doomsday, where Doom needs to build a new universe, which is literally what Strange was using the World Forge for. And it would make sense. As you'll recall, again, Strange was powering it with powered beings from across the multiverse. So, again, that fits with Doom wanting to collect powered beings like Franklin, Loki, possibly Wanda, maybe one or two others. It only makes sense, yo. It only makes sense for it to be the World Forge. Come to me for that reason already. Oh, thanks, Brennan. You're so nice. So yeah, gotta be the World Forge in my opinion. In the Avengers Doomsday Chair announcement, we saw 7 X-Men characters announced for the film. I would like to know if we can expect some more characters. And we don't like to know that. Gala. I heard Halle Berry was in talks to return, but that report was a while ago, and Hugh Jackman's stunt double was supposedly at Pinewood Studio. It's okay if you can't go into specifics. Well, whether or not you think it's okay if he can't go into specifics, he's not fucking gonna. Can't really elaborate as much, but the X-Mansion is full of fun mutants. Okay. In other words, the Lady X-Peoples that were not in the chairs are probably all going to be there. Pumpkin Janssen, Jean Grey, Halle Berry Storm. Probably not getting Kitty Pryde back. Yeah. Basically, probably all the missing ones, or at least almost all the missing ones from the chairs will probably be in it, I would imagine. Exactly, Executive Judge. As soon as Josh mentioned Snorehammer today, I bounced. Yeah. Oh, look. Final question. Can you list these characters based on the size of their roles in Doomsday? Well, this is actually a good question. Magneto, Cyclops, Thor, and Monica Rambeau. Out of all 4, Monica's got the bigger bigger role story-wise, but Thor would show up more if that makes sense. Okay, let's talk about that. So Monica has the bigger role story-wise, but Thor would show up more. So basically, if I'm reading that right, Thor is going to have more screen time than Monica, but what Monica's character arc is going to have a much bigger impact on the story than Thor's will. As long as I get Wanda versus Jean before the Fox X-Men get slimed, I'll be okay. I mean, yeah, after we got hosed on that in Deadpool and Wolverine, yeah, give me that shit. I'm with you. I'm with you on that one, Your Honor, 100%. Yeah, so, yeah, Monica, whatever Monica's story is inside the movie is going to be much more impactful than Thor's. But it looks like Thor is going to have more screen time. And then, of course, he doesn't even mention Magneto and Cyclops. But yeah. Part 2 in a few days. Hell yeah, baby. So what do y'all think? Looks like we're getting the World Forge. The usual list of suspects for the actors haven't been confirmed yet. Looks like we're getting not black leather uniforms. Thank God. Yep, we're getting a young Chris Evans and a young Peggy together because Steve choosing them Tiggle Bitties over the multiverse evidently was a mistake. Looks like Team Loki is basically going to be the TVA. I thought maybe it was going to be more until that other question where the context made it look like it was just TVA. Molecule Man. Probably going to get a teaser around Brand New Day. Probably attached to it if I had any guess if that's what they're doing. X-Men, Monica. Some doubles are already shooting. Awesome mutant costume. We're going to see another Earth that fucked up by an incursion. Yeah. So that's it for that. At this point, when I found out it got clipped from DP&W. Yeah, exactly. But that is that, folks. Those are all the news items for tonight, all the updates, all the tidbits, all the goods, as they say. So what are your thoughts, chat? Any final thoughts, questions, concerns, hypotheses, theories, postulates? Anything? Because that's all I got for news. This is your time now, chat. This is your time. Lay it on me. Lay it on me. Put it down on me. The battle's on me. Put it down on me. Put it down on me. Jeremiah. Yeah, that's right. Well, chat. This is the time I dedicate to you. But if you have nothing, I'm getting out of here because it's still a work night. A little bit of cinnamon. Alrighty then. Well, I'm going to go ahead and skedaddle then. I had a lot of fun tonight. Got a lot of news, a lot of updates, a lot of new little details and tidbits and shit. I hope you guys had fun. I hope you enjoyed all the subjects I had to relate to you this evening. Thank you all for being here very, very much. I really, really appreciate it. Again, if you would be so kind, if you did not. Have you been playing the same fucking song the whole time? Piece of shit. Anyway, you know what? That one. And then now, repeat all you motherfuckers. Anyway, yeah. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being awesome enough to spend time here in the basement with me. I know time is very, very precious. And choosing to spend it with me is super awesome, in my opinion, and also a little ridiculous, but we're nerds. We're ridiculous people anyway. So let's wallow in our ridiculousness and hang out in the basement repeatedly. Anyway, yeah. So all the gratitude, all the love to you guys. Thank you for being here. Come on back Saturday night at 10 for the weekend stream where we'll go over all the happenings that we find out about between now and then. So, y'all are dope. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you Saturday. Bye-bye. Oh, yeah. Yeah, chat. Another good stream. Hope y'all had fun. I had lots of fun. I always have fun talking to you guys about this stuff. I hope you have fun listening to me about this stuff. Y'all are dope. Thank you for being here. Have a good rest of your week, and we will see you at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturday night. Much love, y'all. Bye-bye.